Well, hello. Made by Michelle here. I'm Michelle. So today we're here to talk about a brand new Instagram based competition or contest called Sew Phoenix September 25. And this is run by Sew Let's Sparkle with Sam, Rachel the French Seams, and Catherine at Soberton Makery. And so the whole premise of this is to take a make that you've done in the past when you weren't quite as advanced as you are today at sewing and recreate it with your today sewing skills and document that journey on Instagram. Show your past make, show your new make, and your new skills versus your past skills and your improvements, and post it on Instagram at any time throughout the month of September. And you could win a prize. And I will put in the cards, but basically you tag Sam, Rachel, and Catherine, and post it on Instagram. And there is a Gmail, I believe, that you can use, or an email that you can use if you do not have an Instagram, or if it's like a gift or something, and you don't want to post it on Instagram. I believe that there's an email that you can send photos to so that you can also enter. But yeah, that's exciting. Just, show your skill level has improved and you could win a prize. I don't know if it's a judged thing or just a random draw. It'll be on the cards. But anyway, we could all win. So this is just one thing that I'm working on for the month of September. So watch my space. There are other things. But anyway, the thing that I have come to talk to you about in today's video. So I will try very hard to find the pattern number for this. These, and I will put these on because they do fit. And they're very cute. I like them. I still wear them today. Basically, sorry, they're kind of wrinkly. I made a couple pair of joggy bottoms, sweatpants, whatever you want to call them. These are just out of like a t-shirt material, which may not have been the most appropriate, but they're very comfortable. And I run kind of warm, so they're perfect for me. But now I'm going to get into the nitty gritty here. They're not perfect. And I made these. So I started sewing for myself in like 2019, 2020. And I've improved greatly. Jogger pants were much easier for me to fit than tops, which I've just begun fitting, and gotten into fitting. So let's look at the not so good. So I must have done it right and then took it apart and either took some elastic out, or no, I folded the elastic, sewed it, and then re-seamed it with just a zigzag stitch here. So I did it right, and then I took it apart to take some length out of the elastic. That's what happened. I can tell you that. But anyway, so yeah, you can see the elastic's kind of chunky there. It's the great thing about elastic, right? And so anyway, these are, they're starting to come apart a little bit. My seam allowance was probably not what it should have been, but they're really cute. I mean, they had like little darts. This dart wasn't perfect, but these two darts I'm pretty happy with. Pockets are nice. Nice deep pockets. Who doesn't love a jogger with a pocket? And then this was the second pair I did. I had exactly the same issue on these pair. Don't know what's going on here, but it's never bothered me. I wear them all the time. But these, actually, I wear these less because these are actual sweatshirting. Funny story, I made these for my daughter, but she didn't like them, so I kept them. I made her a little tank top to go with them. She never wore that either, but that was much too small for me. The seams on the inside of these are much nicer, all serged. Again, second pair. Seams on the inside of these, half serged, half not serged. So I don't know if I cut them apart to, I don't know. I have no idea. It was 6 years ago. So I don't know if they're just falling, like the serge seam has come out. I don't know. Again, you know, just not quite the same skill level. A little hole here. You know, they're still going. I'm not ready to give up on them yet. The bottoms are meant to be hemmed. She says with these hems, not that great. But again, at the time my daughter was probably shorter than me, so I probably cut them off and then didn't have a ton to work with here. These, I decided I didn't like the larger hem, and so I fashioned my own elasticated cuff. Pretty proud of that. My skill level was not that great at the time. But again, was never intending to show anybody the inside of these pants. So there we go. Raw truth. Anyway, the I do not have that pattern anymore. I made 2 pairs, never intended to make more. The top that was with those I never intended to make, so I gave that pattern away. So I don't have it. So I'll have to make something else. I do have the CC, I believe it is, the jogger bottoms, the Tilly and the Buttons pattern. So I do have a jogger bottom, and I have other jogger bottom patterns. There we go, words. So I will find another bottom pattern that I can make, and I will recreate one of each of those, or at least the thinner pair. I think the other pair was okay. The first pair, not quite not quite up to par. So I will perhaps recreate a t-shirty pair if I have some more of this material on hand. I don't know that we're meant to run out and buy a bunch of material. I'm sure I have something that I can make something like this out of. Anyway, I will make something along the lines of these for my Sew Phoenix. So, and I will show you the insides of them so we can all look together. Yeah. So, I mean, most of them are finished pretty well, but waistband not so much. And yeah. So, there we go. Short and sweet. And what, if anything, will you be doing for Sew Phoenix September 25? I think this is a cool challenge. You know, there were a couple other things that I thought of, but this is really the oldest make that I could think of. Everything else is gone. There were some like pajamas and things, but they were, you know, were gone. So, yeah, because the things that I made originally, they just didn't fit me. So, yeah, it wasn't really just a matter of not, you know, being able to sew correctly. It was being able to fit my body, kind of curvy. I was curvier then. I mean, I'm still curvy. I'm never going to not be curvy. I've always been curvy. So, there we go. And we're harder to fit. So, yeah. Looking over at my dress form. She's curvy too. So anyway, that's what I'm going to work on for Sew Phoenix September 25, is I'm going to work on some joggy bottoms. Some sweatpants, whatever you would like to call them, wherever you're from. I think joggy bottoms is cute, but here in the U.S. we call them sweatpants. So, yeah, I'm going to try to recreate myself some sweatpants. Tell me below, what, if anything, are you going to recreate for Sew Phoenix September 25? And do you think this is a great challenge? I sure do. I think it's great. Yeah, so I hope you have a great day. I hope you get some time to sew. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for joining in today, for watching my channel, for coming back if you're a subscriber, for coming over if you're new, and if you don't mind giving me a like, that would be fantastic. I'll see you later.